Welcome back to Djji Tutorials. Today we are introducing how to solve 1-step, 2 steps, and 3 steps equations. To solve a 1-step equation, isolate the variable by performing the inverse operation on both sides of the equation. For example, if the equation has a term added to the variable, subtract that term from both sides. Conversely, if the variable is multiplied by a constant, divide both sides by that constant. Here's a more detailed explanation. 1. Identify the operation. Determine what operation is being performed on the variable: addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. 2. Apply the inverse operation. Perform the opposite operation on both sides of the equation to isolate the variable. Addition. If the variable is being added to a number, subtract that number from both sides. Subtraction. If the variable is being subtracted from a number, add that number from both sides. Multiplication. If the variable is being multiplied by a number, divide both sides by that number. Division. If the variable is being divided by a number, multiply both sides by that number. 3. Simplify. Simplify both sides of the equation to find the value of the variable. Examples: x plus 5 equals 12. Subtract 5 from both sides, x equals 7. X minus 3 equals 8. Add 3 to both sides, x equals 11. 2x equals 10. Divide both sides by 2x equals 5. X divided by 4 equals 6. Multiply both sides by 4x equals 24. Key points: equality. What you do to one side of the equation you must do to the other to maintain equality. Inverse operations: addition and subtraction are inverse operations, as are multiplication and division. To solve a 2-step equation, first, undo any addition or subtraction by performing the inverse operation on both sides of the equation to isolate the variable term. Then, undo any multiplication or division by performing the inverse operation on both sides of the equation to isolate the variable. Example: solve for x in the equation 2x plus 5 equals 11. First, isolate the variable term. Subtract 5 from both sides. 2x plus 5 minus 5 equals 11 minus 5. This simplifies to 2x equals 6. Next, isolate the variable. Divide both sides by 2x divided by 2 equals 6 divided by 2. So x equals 3. Therefore, the solution is x equals 3. Key steps for solving 2-step equations are as follows. First, identify the operations. Determine which operations are being performed on the variable, whether it's addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Next, apply inverse operations. Perform the inverse operation on both sides of the equation to isolate the variable term. Then simplify. Simplify both sides of the equation. Finally, solve for the variable. Isolate the variable by performing the inverse operation of the coefficient or divisor on both sides of the equation. To solve 3-step equations, you first need to simplify the equation by combining like terms and clearing parentheses if necessary. Then, isolate the variable term by using addition or subtraction. Finally, isolate the variable by using multiplication or division. Here's a more detailed breakdown. First, simplify. Remove parentheses by using the distributive property to eliminate any parentheses in the equation. Then, combine like terms. Combine any terms that have the same variable and/or the same exponent on each side of the equation. Next, isolate the variable term. Use addition or subtraction to isolate the term containing the variable. Finally, isolate the variable. Use multiplication or division to isolate the variable by using the opposite operation of the coefficient. Let's solve the equation. 3 times the quantity x plus 2 minus 4 equals 11. First, simplify. Distribute the 3 to get 3x plus 6 minus 4 equals 11. Then combine like terms to get 3x plus 2 equals 11. Next, isolate the variable term by subtracting 2 from both sides to get 3x equals 9. Finally, isolate the variable by dividing both sides by 3 to get x equals 3. Therefore, the solution to the equation is x equals 3. We hope you found this math session useful. Please share with your friends. See you next time.